overhead traveling cranes are important to infrastructure projects. While there are different types of cranes, the CEO of Electromech talked to our Bangalore correspondent Garima about the working and the efficiency of overhead cranes during IMTEX 2009 exhibition. Here's a report.
At the India Metal Cutting Machine Tool Exhibition 2009, one interesting exhibit was the overhead crane by Electromech. The crane can be used for infrastructure projects and building operations.
These cranes are used anywhere where you need to pick up something and move it to another place. Our cranes are used in factories, in workshops, as well as in outdoor areas. So when I'm talking about the infrastructure sector, our cranes are used for example, in a precast segment yard, for handling of the precast segments, for moving them from the precast yard, loading them onto the trailers, moving them to the construction site, lifting them in place and putting them in place again. Our cranes are also used in construction of a lot of projects, for example, for building power plants and for doing assembly of power plants at those particular project locations. So that way our equipment is used. The basic idea of a crane is to lift and move, and that is what our equipment does.
And these cranes offer several advantages over the mobile cranes.
The advantages, see, now there are various ways and means in which you can move the load. Some of the loads, for example, in a precast yard, there is no other option to use other than a gantry crane or a Goliath crane, which we call. You cannot use a mobile crane out there simply because the mobile crane requires a lot of space to move, and again it is pretty much slow when as compared to for that particular application. So when in an application where you require fast movements, accurate movements, very safe movements, it makes sense to have that type of equipment, and where you can do all the above.
Let's now understand the mechanism of this equipment.
Crane has three motions. It is up and down, hoisting and lowering. We call cross travel, so moving left and right, and then moving along the length. So that's what we call as long travel. So it has three basic motions. By having these three motions, a crane can lift the load and move it anywhere required. So that is the basic fundamental principle of operation of cranes. Now the motion for operating this crane is provided through electrical motors, and the power is transferred from through the gearboxes to rope drums, and on the rope drum we have wire ropes mounted, and by the rotation of the rope drums the wire rope moves up and down and the load gets carried.
With the infrastructure sector growing at a fast pace, overhead cranes have brought accuracy and speed into the operations. In Bangalore with camera person Lokesh, this is Garima for Real Estate Television.